Hello and welcome to our website training tutorial. My name is Angela and I'm with the client care team here at Advantage Credit. In this session, we'll be going over how to log into our website, navigate and order commonly used products and services that will help you grow your business, increase your closing ratios, and enhance your overall value. So let's go ahead and get started. The screen you currently see is the login screen, and you can get to this from our webpage by going to www.advcredit.com. From the web page, you would go to the Customer Login tab and choose Mortgage Credit. In the login field, you'll want to enter in your user ID and then plug in your password. If you forgot your password and need to reset it, you can go ahead and use that Forgot Your Password link and then click Login. If you've never logged into the website directly, you'll need to enter an authentication code, and you can have that emailed to you or you can have it text to you to your cell phone number. You'll also want to register your computer by checking the register computer /network box. So this way, the next time you log in, you won't need to have another authentication code. You want to use your mouse to punch in the numbers and then go ahead and click continue. You'll be taken to your main page once you're logged in, and you'll see everything's kind of broken up by sections. You'll have a product and services section, and this is where you'll order credit reports or tax transcripts, flood certifications. You have a tools box. This is for those that have administration rights. So you might see some different fields in here compared to another coworker. Again, it just depends on your access. But from here, you'll be able to add new users, generate authentication codes for new users. If you need to change ownership or run a total cost for borrower, you'll be able to do all that within the tools section. Preferences and announcements. This is where you can reset a password, but you'll also see announcements from Advantage Credit or Meridian Link as well. So if we're going to be closed due to a holiday, you would see that message displayed there. The bottom portion of the page is for the recent requests section, and this is a quick way to go into products that you've already pulled. So if you just want to look at all the credit reports that you pulled, or maybe supplement requests that you have open or completed, you would just click on the appropriate link for that product and it'll display the results here in the recent requests. Up at the top, you can also search for files, and there's a drop down for file number where it's defaulted, but you can change that to reference number, social security number, or last name, and then you would just input the entry into the blank field and click go. Let's jump right in and look at some credit files. I'm going to come down here to the recent request section and I'm going to click on the credit link. So this will display all the credit reports that I have access to, and I'm going to grab the top one here. As you can see, the file number is displayed, so I can just click on the file number and that's going to open up my file page. Up at the top, you'll have your file number displayed and the applicant's name. If you had a co-borrower, their name would be listed here. The address and previous address, and then their credit scores are displayed slightly to the right. The request history is an area where you would see any supplement requests that were submitted for this credit file. An example here is there was one submitted for a trade line. It was assigned to processor myself. And if there were any messages, that would be displayed here. So maybe if we were waiting for a borrower's authorization or we're just letting you know that we left a message for a callback, you would see that displayed here. The date it was ordered and if it was resolved, and then what the status is. So you would see either completed, working, pending, or canceled. The document section is below, and this is where you would upload your borrower's authorization, and you can just use that link here. You can also upload other documentation that would be beneficial to the supplement request. So maybe you have a statement or an invoice or some other documentation that would help complete the request. You can certainly upload it there. Submission results is displaying the dates of when the reports were pulled and what the status was. So if there was an error message, maybe your credit report had a file on it, and you would see that underneath the error messages. For those that need to run an LQI or a soft pull, a refresh report button is available to you there. and then any charges that are applicable to the credit file will be displayed at the bottom. Okay, moving on, let's go ahead and take a look of an actual credit report. And you can do that by jumping up here to the top under the View Report section. And you have two versions. You have a web version and a PDF. I always recommend using the web version because it's an interactive way of using the report. So you'll just click on the link and you'll see your scores displayed at the top. When you scroll down, you'll see the indicative information for the borrower, their scores, and what the factors were impacting those scores. If there were any alerts that were on the file, you would see them displayed. And then open accounts, any derogatory accounts. Note that the formats may be different from company to company, so your report will always provide you with all the relevant information on the credit report. They'll just be in different sections, but they will all be, separated with these headers, so you'll know exactly what you're looking at within the report. As you kind of scan through, you'll see that the accounts have hyperlinks on them. And this is going back again to having the credit report be interactive. Say you wanted to open up a supplement request for one of the accounts. You would just want to find the account on the credit report and you're going to click on the name. And this opens up your supplement box. And as you can see, majority of the items are already pre-populated for you, so that saves you time. And you would just want to click whatever your supplement is pertaining to. So if you needed to have your balance updated, you can just check that box. Maybe you want to confirm the payment, verify that there were no lates. Again, you just want to use whatever box is applicable to this specific supplement request. Down at the bottom, you can also upload any borrower's authorizations or again, statements maybe. If it helps complete that supplement, you can certainly attach them here. If it needed to be a rush, you can go ahead and check that rush box option. And then once you have all your fields entered, you just go ahead and click Submit Order and your supplement is submitted for you. You'll also notice to the right of each account, we have the raw data provided from the bureaus. This is very helpful when you're submitting a rescore request, and I'll show you how. You just want to click on that link and it's going to display the raw data for each bureau. So as you can see, for this particular Capital One account, maybe you need to have the balance updated. The borrower is saying, no, that balance is not up to date. As you can see, Experian reporting $4,379 as the balance, but TransUnion and Equifax are showing $4,292. So there's obviously a discrepancy here between Experian and the other two. So from this information that you're being provided with, you know that you only need to submit a rescore request with Experian. And that could save you time. You don't have to worry about submitting any additional rescore requests to the other bureau. And again, time and money is saved here by looking at the raw data. You'll also notice on the report there is a Request New Trade Line link, and this would be if you needed to add an account to a supplement request. So maybe you have a borrower that just opened up a furniture account, we'll say 2 weeks ago, and it hasn't been reported to the bureaus, therefore it's not showing on the bureau reports. You can request that be added to a supplement report via a supplement request, and I'll just show you what it looks like. So basically you'd want to enter in whomever they open the account with, the account number. If they know the exact date, the more information the merrier, so you just want to enter in those fields. And you have some pre-populated information there for you. And then again, any documentation that you can attach to help us verify that supplement is always helpful. And then once you have all your fields entered in, you can go ahead and submit order. From this report, you can also add additional products. So up at the top, before you get into the body of the report, you'll see the Add Product link. And this is a way to maybe add tax transcript request directly, or if you need to have a social security verification, you would click on that add product link. It's going to take you to your settlement services worksheet and then go ahead and click order new product. And then from here, you would just add the additional product. So if again, you wanted to add maybe a business credit report, there's your flood certification option, tax transcripts, or a social security verification. For those that need to order other reports available from the report, you can come down to the Other Reports section. And from here, you can pull a mortgage only report, which would display only the mortgages from the credit file, maybe only show trade lines that have disputes on them or the derogatory accounts. You also have an explanation letter, which I always say is very helpful. Maybe in the event where a borrower maybe got laid off, so they were unemployed for a couple of months, missed a couple payments, they can use this explanation letter to maybe explain the reasoning behind a late payment, and it would display the derogatory items from the report, and they can just choose, whichever account they want to explain the reasoning behind it. And again, you just use your checkbox fields. And then in the explanation field, they can go ahead and type a message, say, I was laid off. This is why I missed a payment on this loan and that loan. So again, it's a kind of a good faith gesture to provide with your documents and gives the borrower an opportunity to explain themselves again for any late payments. Next, let's go ahead and come down to the add-on products and go over the credit analyzer. Um, as you all know, we're definitely in a purchase market today, and it's important to go out and develop new relationships with realtors and enhance the existing relationships that you already have. And this is an excellent way to promote business with your realtor contacts in that with each pre-approval they bring to you, you will provide that borrower with a consultation report or a credit analyzer report, if you will, that would advise the borrower on how they can improve their scores naturally while trying to sell their current home and find that new perfect home. It's also a great report to provide to borrowers that you had to turn down due to maybe a low FICO score or bad credit in general or just not enough credit history. And it gives them a game plan to follow so that when they come back, let's say 6 months down the line, you can turn that once declined application into an approved loan. So, definitely not a report that's just centered around folks with bad credit. In fact, it's a great way to help borrowers with a 740, 750 achieve that 780 score or higher. And it could be considered a closing gift, if you will, that they can walk away with after they close their loan with you. And you can really set yourself apart from your competition and add value to your business and turn those one time customers into repeat customers. So let's go ahead and look at a demonstration of the Credit Analyzer report. So you'll notice you'll have these plus signs underneath the credit scores, and these are potential score increases that will go hand in hand with the Credit Analyzer. So you can grab them from over here, or you can just come down to the Credit Analyzer. I'll go ahead and use the Add-on Products section, and we're going to click on the Credit Analyzer link, and it's going to open up a new window. It's going to be defaulted into the rapid rescore mode. So that would be for the borrowers that they're selling their house now. They, are going to be buying a new house very soon, probably within the next month or so. So they want to make sure that their credit is at the best that it can be to get that lowest rate. The planning mode would be good for the borrowers that are going to be planning on buying a home maybe 6 months, a year down the road. But we'll go ahead and leave it in the rapid rescoring mode. And then you would click on the borrower. If there are two borrowers, you can go ahead and click on the co-borrower as well. The disposable cash is defaulted at 5,000. We like to recommend that you maybe increase it to 10, and this just kind of gives you more wiggle room that the borrower can look at. It's going to tell you the amount of cash flow that's needed to complete the actions to increase the score. And so maybe those actions require $5,010. Had you not upped it a little bit, the borrower could have missed that opportunity to get, a better, higher score rate. And then you can click all three bureaus if you wanted to see the options, or maybe there was just one bureau that you wanted to focus on. We'll go ahead and leave it at the Experian option, and then you'll go ahead and click Order. And this is what your credit analyzer report will look like. And up at the top, you'll have the name of your borrower, your company name, and the date of the report. The summary would be listed first, and this will just let the borrower know where they rank on a national level. The credit analyst will provide the negative factors, but also the positive factors that are impacting their credit score. Throughout the report, you'll see these more links. I always recommend opening those fields up just because it goes into depth and detail of what that specific bullet point was regarding. And let's just scroll down. As you can see, this one has kind of lengthy ones, which is always good because it gives them, all the information that they need regarding their score. And then when you come down to actions, this is where it's going to talk about the actions needed to potentially increase their credit score. So this one for the Experian has a potential score increase of 44 points. And it's letting them know that the cash needed is $6,926. So remember, we changed that from $5,000 to $10,000. So again, gives the borrower more wiggle room. And then you would just follow the actions in their order. So it says for this particular action report, it wants them to pay down the balance on the Capital One account ending in 0008 to $1,735, and that gives a potential score increase of 15 points. And then the next action they would want to take is paying down the Capital One account ending in 0010 to 678, and then you just complete the actions, so on and so on. So again, I would always recommend opening up these more links, and then you can go ahead and print this out and give it to your borrower to walk away with. And again, that gives them that game plan on ways that they can improve their score naturally. Moving on to the What If Simulator, this is another great tool to add value to your business. So let's just say that you pulled a report on a borrower, and while going the report, the borrower is indicating that they see an account but that they just paid it off, and it's not showing that it has a zero balance, or they see that there's a collection account on there and that was removed a long time ago, or an authorized user account and they know that they're no longer an authorized user for that specific card. You can use the What If Simulator to see if the FICO score would change based on these unreported changes that the borrower is telling you. It's also a great way to forecast any changes that could occur if the borrower pays down a balance in the future, or maybe they plan on opening a new account, or if they just don't do anything at all and just keep paying their bills on time. Bottom line, it's going to give you, the borrower, a better informed decision on what's going to impact their credit score. So let's go ahead and look at a demonstration of how it works. You can go ahead under the add-on products, click on the What If Simulator. And again, the window is going to look a little bit similar. So you're going to have your borrower and co-borrower option, and then you want to choose the bureau you want to work with. Since we worked with the Experian on the last demonstration, we'll just continue with that and click on Run What If. With the What If Simulator, you're going to see the current score displayed up here in the left-hand column, and then their accounts listed below. So on the last demonstration, it talked about the Capital One account being paid down. I believe it was the account ending in 0008, and it said it wanted it to be paid down to the 1700. Oops, I pressed enter too quickly. 1700. And so again, you would just modify that field and click enter, and it's going to let you know how the score impacts. Going back to the what if description, let's say you have a borrower again saying, hey, I paid off that account, but it's still showing a balance. Let's say it was a Chrysler account, so they paid off their car loan, but it's still showing a $23,000 balance. How is that going to impact their score? Since again, we're not seeing that change. Just modify it, click enter, and again, it's going to let you know how that change is going to impact their score. You'll see the changes that you're making with the What If Simulator over here to the right. So if you wanted to start over, you can just simply click the Start Over button, and it's going to erase any changes that you were working with. Now, I also mentioned about what would happen if a borrower was thinking about opening a new account. Let's say your borrower has a son or daughter and they're going to be going off to college in about 6 months, and they want to know how opening a student loan, maybe they're going to help them finance their tuition. How is that going to impact their score? You can come over here under the Start button and click the Open New Account link. You'll have some options to choose, so you can leave it as a credit card, but let's just do student loans since that's the simulation we're going to work with. And let's see, it's going to be $6,000 that they're going to finance. You would go ahead and click Simulate. And you want to change the time frame. It's going to default it to 1 month, but remember we're talking about, maybe it's going to happen 6 months down the road. So you can come up here to time frame, click the drop down, and let's put it at 6 months. So how is that student loan going to impact them? Well, looks like it could help them. It can increase their score to 511. You'll notice if you hover over to the left, you can also see what happens if you have an account removed. So again, going back to that scenario of having an authorized user account deleted, let's come down here to the Citibank account. And as you can see, it's an authorized user account. Is this going to impact the score having it removed? You can go ahead and click the red box, takes it off. In this simulation, it's not really going to impact it, but again, it would display any of the results up here. And again, you just always click the Start Over button and it erases any changes that you made to the simulator. Going back to the credit file and continuing with the add-on products is the comparison report. And I love showing our customers how to use this report. It's very helpful in looking at what the report looked like when you initially started the application process and what it looks like now at closing. And you can compare and see were there any changes made to this borrower's report. So you can just click on the comparison report and it's automatically going to recognize any other files that were particular for this borrower. If you knew of a different file and you didn't see it listed here, you can obviously enter that in, but we're just going to leave it at what the system defaults it as. So it's going to compare this file that we currently have to the one in the system. And you can come down here and click Generate Comparison Report. And this will show you a side-by-side view of the way that the report has changed. So you have file number 1 compared to file number 2, and then it kind of gives you a summary whether there are any changes in regards to dollar amount. If you scroll down, it'll break it down through the accounts. So blue is the first file, pink is the second, and then any changes would be indicated for you. You'll also see some comments on the left. It'll let you know if this account was added by saying it was no longer filed on, found on the previous file, or if something was deleted. You'll see those comments displayed on the left-hand side. And again, this is also something you can print out for your borrower. You can also add supplements under the add-on products. Again, it works the same way. You can just click on it and you can check if it's a rush. You can add any request reasonings. But again, I always like to focus on adding it through the report because it's just a little bit more easier to work with. Less clicking options, but again, same way it works. You can just locate the file that you want to submit the supplement on, click the box, and then you want to click whatever attributes are going to apply to that supplement request. And then go ahead and click Submit. Coming down to the unmerged report section, here if we had 2 borrowers, this could be where you can remove a borrower and maybe you want to have their own file for them. Again, you would just unclick that box and click View, and then you can save your changes being made to the file. You can also remove bureau reports if you need it to be. And then again, you always want to click View to save whatever changes you're making to that report. Well, this concludes our website training session. I know we covered a lot in this brief training, but remember, we're always here to help you with any questions you may have. And on behalf of Advantage Credit, we thank you for your business and look forward to working with you.